Perfect. So you should be able to see my screen. I am on the command homepage, which is agent.kw.com. And this is going to be our main login point for all things command. So to get started today, we are going to go to our SmartPlans applet, which is going to be right here, our third icon on the left. And you can click on this KW up here in the top left-hand corner to open up the menu on the left-hand side. You can see SmartPlans. SmartPlans are commonly referred to as drip campaigns, especially those that have been around and used eEdge. These are going to be your monthly campaigns, or however often you want to send them. But the email, text, and call campaigns that you put leads on, clients on, to maintain those relationships with your clients. So when you click into SmartPlans, this is going to be what you see. Right now, we're looking at my SmartPlans. So down here, my bi-monthly Neighborhood Nurture is the only SmartPlan that I have as a part of my SmartPlans, or my People Plans rather. And People Plans are going to be the campaigns that you can run that are going to be all about focusing on building that relationship. To the left, you can see here we have referral plans, opportunity plans, and listing plans. And we're not able to click on those because those are not yet built out. But the goal is in the next couple of months to have different types of smart plans that you can use to build different types of relationships. So referral plans here, you'd be able to set up other agents on the referral plan. So if you met someone at family reunion or mega camp, or another agent from another brokerage that you think would be a great fit for KW, you can add them to a referral plan to be top of mind. So if and when they have a client that moves to the Atlanta area, you are the agent they are going to send that referral to. Opportunity plans are going to be those people that you've put into your sales funnel within opportunity. So throughout the different phases and stages of working with a client, you can have them receive automatic information based on where they are and where you move them in the sales funnel. And then listing plans are going to be all about helping you build your clients to get listings, as well as how to manage those listings as well. Over here to the far right, we have our create button. So you do have the opportunity to create your own smart plans. A lot of agents have created some, and I know that if you check out Command Your Conversion Facebook group, there are a handful of smart plans that agents have shared there. So we'll walk through how to create our own smart plan this morning. And the goal is in the future that if you've created a really awesome smart plan that's worked really well for your business, you'll be able to sell that smart plan. So there would be another option here where you could go in and I could buy a smart plan that you created if I really want to add my clients to that. So some great plans for smart plans in the future. Now I want to walk through the library. So this tab up here for library. And as of now, we have 10 smart plans that KW Labs have built for us that we can go ahead and add our clients to. So I'll walk through each one of these real quickly so you can learn a little bit more about what they are and how it could be a fit for your client and your database. So here, our first one is Promote My App. And this is really all about going to be getting your app in the hands of your database. You can see here some quick stats. It has 5 steps. It lasts for 5 days, and then 3 touches. And then we have Add Smart Plan. So back in that last screen where we saw I only had the bi-monthly Neighborhood Nurture, if I wanted to add Promote My App to that list and to my personal library, I'd click Add Here. And then right here, View Steps. This is going to have a drop down, and this is going to show all the steps that are included with this smart plan. So the first step is going to be send an HTML email. So it's going to be an automated email. Then there's going to be a 1-day delay. Then there's going to be send a text message. And here it pops up with a copy of the text. Hey, this is blank, first name, last name agent with Keller Williams First Atlanta. Did you see that neighborhood listed a home? The neighbor listed a home in your area. Download my brand new KW app to check it out. and a link to the app. Then there's going to be a 3-day delay and then another text message. So you can see here, before you even add this to your library, you can see exactly what will be included in the Smart Plan. And the nice thing about Smart Plans, as we'll walk through in just a few minutes, is that you can edit that. So if any of that text in those text messages doesn't feel like your voice or your tone or how you would want to interact with your clients, we can change it. The next is the bi-weekly neighborhood nurture. And this is going to be an email that's sent out every 2 weeks to your clients or to your database on what's going on in their neighborhoods. So this is going to be one of those important steps that when you added your contact into the contacts, which we walked through in TCL1, that you add their address in there and make sure that they have their neighborhood included. And you can manually add their neighborhood if it doesn't automatically populate. But this information included in the bi-weekly neighborhood nurture is going to be based on that neighborhood address that you've added in for them. So here you can see it's 3 steps. It lasts for 15 days and it has 1 touch. Click here to view the steps. So it's automated email. There's a 14-day delay and then it repeats unlimited time. So very basic, but this is going to be the bi-weekly neighborhood nurture as well as the monthly neighborhood nurture, which is down here, are going to really be more of the main Smart Plans that you'd want to set your clients up on. And they're going to kind of take the place of the monthly newsletter that was sent out in eEdge. And the idea behind this Smart Plan and all these Smart Plans really is to provide value to our clients. So in this aspect, we can provide our clients with very specialized information about their neighborhood and their area twice a month, which is going to be far more important than any tips for spring cleaning, how to prepare your home for a listing, what repairs to make to your home, just kind of, some top line information, when this is going to be really specific to that. The next Smart Plan that we have is the 8x8 new contact engagement plan. And this is really all about building that relationship with someone that you just met and build that mind share battle with them over an 8-week campaign, 8-week plan. So here, 15 steps, it lasts for 50 days, and there are 8 touches, so 8x8. So view the steps. So this is a little bit longer. So we start with an automated message, introducing yourself, would love to grab coffee. The one thing to keep in mind with this 8x8 campaign, you don't want to just add 100 people on it at one time, because you will likely get a lot of people that want to meet you for coffee, assuming we can start getting coffee with folks again soon. So be mindful on when you add people to this, so that way you don't have 25 people saying, oh yeah, let's grab coffee tomorrow afternoon, and you're trying to manage your calendar. There'll be a delay for 7 days, and then a touch task. So send it a let's grab coffee email, another 7-day delay, give that person a call just to say, hey, touching base, haven't heard from you, 7-day delay, then send an automated text message. And again, you'll be able to update this text message as well. 7-day delay, then it's going to add them to the Smart Plan, to the monthly neighborhood nurture. So assuming you've added their address in and they've been assigned a neighborhood, they'll be able to add to this neighborhood nurture automatically. You don't have to do anything, so they can start receiving that information. 7-day delay, then a phone call. Hey, just wanted to check in and make sure you received the information from that monthly neighborhood nurture I added you to. Any questions about what's going on in your neighborhood? 7-day delay. Then send another text message asking about the neighborhood snapshot. 7-day delay, and then a touch task. And this last one's going to be really much more about, hey, this is the real estate team I'm a part of. Let me know how I can help. So you can get an idea of all the steps that'll be involved in this 8x8. And this is a great way that as you're meeting people to make sure that you are staying top of mind with them and building that relationship. And everything is done for you. So when you log into Command, all of those reminders, send email, add them to the Neighborhood Nurture. Anything that you need to do as a part of this smart plan will automatically appear for you in the home screen of Command. So it really truly is a set it and forget it smart plan. So then the quarterly call plan. So this is going to be so that way to remind you to call your database at least once a month. And this is something I would recommend that everyone add their database onto, especially their A and B tier sphere contacts. And this is really simple. You can see it's 3 steps. It lasts for 91 days, so 3 months, and 1 touch. And this really is a phone call, wait 90 days, and repeat. So just to make sure that you are touching base with your database once a quarter, just checking in, seeing how they're doing, any questions they have, what are their summer plans, all that information. So the next one is going to be a midterm nurture. So this is going to be more of a general check-in with someone that you've recently met that you want to offer some of your real estate expertise. And this is someone that's probably looking to buy or sell in the next probably like 3 to 4 months. So it has 6 steps. It's going to last 29 days, so about a month, and you'll have 2 touches. So you will add them to the biweekly Neighborhood Nurture. So you've met them, you talked with them, you want to start providing them with some specialized real estate information. You'll wait 2 weeks, give them a call, wait 2 more weeks, send a text message, and then here you have 3 different choices of texts that you can send them. And then this will repeat 2 times. So this text message here, you can see we have 3 options. So the first time around, we'll send text 1, then text 2, then text 3. So this is going to be for someone that's probably going to want to move in the next 3 to 4 months. Then we have the long-term nurture, and this is going to be similar, but for someone that's probably waiting a little bit longer, probably closer to 6 months, maybe 6 to 8 months to buy or sell. So it'll have 8 steps, it'll last a month, and has 3 touches. So we're going to add them to the monthly Neighborhood Nurture automatically. And since this is a little bit more long-term, that's why we only need to send them this information once a month, because they're still in the really early processes of deciding to move. Wait 10 days, give them a quick call to ask them if they have any questions, wait 10 days. Then we'll send an email to them as a part of this smart plan, wait 10 days, send a text message. And you can see here we have 6 different text messages because this will repeat 5 times. So the first time through, it'll send that first text. Second time through, it'll send that second text, and so on and so on. So this is a great way for someone that you've met, you're still getting to know, that you want to make sure you're keeping in touch with them and providing them specialized real estate information as they are getting ready to buy or sell in the next 6 to 8 months. The next is a birthday plan. And this really is as simple as it sounds. It is a plan to help you remember someone's birthday and make them feel special. So it has 6 steps. It lasts for a week and 4 touches. So the first one is going to be a reminder to send them a handwritten birthday card a week before their birthday. Then you wait 4 days, give them a call to say happy birthday, ask them what their plans are. What are they going to do for their upcoming birthday? Wait a day, post on their social media, wishing them happy birthday, and send them a text saying happy birthday. So think of that. That is 4 different touches that you'll have with that contact on their birthday. And think of how special that's going to make them feel. And nothing here really is real estate related. It's really all about your contact and making them feel celebrated on their birthday. The next one here is open house follow-up, and this is one of my favorite smart plans because it really takes the guesswork on how do you manage those contacts that you meet at an open house, and knowing that open houses are such a great way to build your business, especially for newer agents. you have people that are in the market to want to buy. So what a great place to pick up new contacts. So this is going to be a 15-step plan. It lasts for 3 weeks and you have 7 touches. So the first touch is going to be a text message asking them what they thought of the open house, a 1-day delay. Then there's going to be a nice to meet you at the open house email with all of your information. Wait 2 days, give them a quick call to see if there are any upcoming open houses they want to go to. Wait 3 days, send another text message saying that you have some open houses, ask if they would want a list. Wait 4 days, have another phone call to see if there's any upcoming houses they're interested in. 3 days, 3-day wait, send another text message wanting to check in. 4-day delay, then we'll send another email if they're still asking if they're still in the market to buy a new place. 3-day delay, and then add them a link to the long-term nurture plan. So this is going to be that client that's looking 6 to 8 months out to buy. So you can see here, this really takes the guesswork and automates how do you manage that relationship, knowing that people that are at an open house, they're in the market to buy or sell. They obviously are interested. So this is a great way to streamline that process for you, take the guesswork out of how often and when to reach out to them, and it really diversifies the way that you can touch that contact. The next one here is the monthly neighborhood nurture, and this is going to be very similar to it's basically the same thing as the biweekly neighborhood nurture, and it lasts, it's 3 steps, it lasts a month, and it has 1 touch, but it repeats indefinitely. And this is going to be that email based on the address that you've added for them in contacts and the neighborhood you've assigned them to. That's going to send them very specialized information about what's going on in their neighborhood. What are the recent homes listed for sale? What are the recent sales? Prices, days on market, all that information that they would be most interested in. And I would recommend that if you haven't yet, go ahead and add all of your contacts to your monthly neighborhood nurture plan. And then our last automated or prepared smart plan is the home anniversary for past clients. And this is great because it's another way to remind you to touch your past clients and be top of mind for them, to let them know that you really care about them and you're still thinking about them, even though it's been a year since you've worked together. So it's 3 steps. It lasts for 7 days and 2 touches. So the first one is to send a gift or a card or gift card to your client and let them know, congratulations on 1 year in your house. Hope everything's going well. Wait 6 days and then give them a call to wish them a happy anniversary and ask how things are going with them. So very simple. It takes all the guesswork out of maintaining that relationship with past clients. So these are the 10 smart plans that have been prepared for us. We can add any one of them to our library, and we can also edit any of them. Another way to add them to our smart plan library is to go through the Keller guide. And that is very similar to all the information we just walked through, but I do want to show that to you now before we go through and edit a smart plan. So click on to go to Smart Plan Keller Guide and learn how to set up smart plans and yourself for success. So, completing the marketing profile, which we walked through in TCO1, activating a smart plan. So going through the list of 10 smart plans that we just talked through and deciding which ones we want to add to our library, and then review and confirm. And one thing I really love about the Keller guide is that it is a step-by-step process. It takes out all the guesswork of everything that you need to do to set up anything in Command. So configure your landing page. So as a part of our marketing profile, we do have landing pages that we can send our clients to with information. These aren't totally built out yet, so they aren't being heavily used, but it is something that is a part of Command. So we can click on each section and make any changes. So you can update your photo here. All of this information is pulled directly out of your marketing profile. So here at this point, it's really just a double check to make sure everything is good to go. Once everything's been updated, just click next. Again, scrolling through, making sure all of our pictures and information are pulled in correctly. All looks good. Social media. So these are the links to my social media pages that I've added into my marketing profile. So this and then here's an app to my KW, or a link to my KW app. So this also comes out of your marketing profile, and this is found in the consumer applet of Command, and it should automatically load for you. Click next. Legal footer. Click next. All right, perfect. So now our next step is to configure accounts. So SmartPlans use text messages and emails, and they can both be automated or they can be a manual process. To automate them, we have to set up accounts. So as a part of SmartPlans, it's going to use Command Email, which was originally MailJet, but has been incorporated into the Command platform as Command Email. To set that up, it's very simple. It should be a picture. If you haven't yet set it up in your settings, you can click Configure here. I'll show you. Just click Edit, and a window pops up, and it's going to have you put in your name. So what is the name you want to appear in people's inboxes? And then what's the reply email? And it's that easy. You don't have to pay for Command Email. You get up to 5,000 emails per month. And if, let's say, you have a huge database and you go well over that 5,000 email per month account, you can pay to add more emails to your account. So once you added this information here, click Save Changes. Perfect. The next here is Configure SMS. So as I walked through all of the SmartPlans, I told you this would be an email, and this would be a text message, and then we have some different options for text messages. Command can set that up for you so that way you can manually send them, which is fine, and some people may want to do that. Or you can use Twilio, which is a third-party service, to automate those text messages for you. Twilio is a paid service, but it'll take all of that guesswork out of having to go into command, copy, pasting, sending that text message. That being said, with Twilio, you are not able to send text messages from your cell phone number. So at the moment, if you sign up for them, when you pay for it, you get a number. Right now, I think it's an Austin area code. You can pay to have an Atlanta area code number. But because it won't be from your number, in your text messages, you need to make sure that you update them all. So you say your name, Keller Williams, First Atlanta. So any text message from me would say, thank you, Nicholas Core, Realtor, Keller Williams, First Atlanta. Just so they know that it is from me, because it's not going to be the number that they may have already had saved in your phone. And then that's also important to keep in mind that if you are going to send out any text blasts, let's say on a smart plan that you create, the people that already have your number, it may be kind of confusing. So it's just something to keep in mind as you figure out what will work best for you and your business. Twilio is a great service. A lot of people have had a lot of success from it, and it really does help streamline the relationship building aspect of what SmartPlans offers. Twilio is pretty cheap. I think it's like 1 cent for 10 text messages, something absurdly cheap. And what they do is they will bill you $20, and they'll put that into a bucket. And then once you get down, I think, to $10, then they'll charge you $20 more. So that's just the way that they keep money in your account, but it is very, very inexpensive. So definitely something to look forward to. And to configure that here, you'd click on Configure, and a new browser would pop up, a new browser tab, and this would be the Twilio, and you'd be able to set up your account here and put in your name, your credit card information, and authorize, and that would connect you to Command. I personally don't have it set up yet. So once you have your email and your SMS set up, click Continue. And now it'll enable SmartPlans. So This here is going to be a list of all 10 smart plans that we just talked through, and you can add any smart plan that you want to your personal library that you can add clients to and make any edits to. So for today, I am going to add the open house follow-up. So I'll just click add smart plan. Now my smart plan has been successfully copied into my library. And over here on the right, you can see the list of enabled smart plans that I have. And then click next. And it's just a quick summary that I've added the biweekly neighborhood nurture and the my open house follow-up. So I will click continue. What's next? You can see we're done here. So to close out of the Kelly guide, I will click this X in the top right-hand corner. So now it drops me back off at the home screen within Command, but I want to go back into Smart Plans. So I'll click on the Smart Plans applet here, and we can see that my open house follow-up has been added to the list of smart plans that I have. I mentioned earlier that you're able to edit this smart plan, and I recommend that you go through and you do personalize some of these smart plans. For the open house follow-up, I would recommend that you copy them for each open house that you have, so that way you can be sure to add in any specific information to that open house, so you know exactly who it is you're talking to, and the people that you're reaching out to know who you are. So over here on the far right, you can see we have some actions. We can add a contact, we can copy, we can edit, and we can delete. So adding a contact, as simple as it sounds, you'd click on this and a pop-up window will appear with a list of all of your contacts. So you can search, so you can come up here, search by name, you can add people in that way. You can come up right here and search by tags. So I can come over here and say, okay, I want to add all people that are Atlanta United fans, and then select all. Boom. So that is how you would add contacts to that smart plan directly from this home screen. The next is going to be to copy. So once you've gone through here and you've edited it, and let's say you have an open house this coming Sunday, you'll want to copy this smart plan and make some edits to the information based on the open house you just had. And this one here, this pencil here, is to edit. Anytime you see a pencil throughout Command, that is going to give you the option to edit. So I want to show you how to edit this open house smart plan right now. So I'm going to click on edit. And you can see we have it set up here. I'm just going to start from the top and work our way down. So we have my open house follow-up. So I want to edit this. I want to make it, personalize it. So I want to rename this open house. Well, it's not letting me edit. Oh, there we go. Sorry. I had to click the pencil to edit the name. So I want to name this my open house. And I'm going to put the address for the open house that I just had. So 1903 Cannon Street, and then hit the check mark. And now that's open, or that's saved, sorry. You can see here at the top, it keeps a count. This lasts for 21 days. It has 15 steps and has 7 touches. And then over here to the right, we can add contacts to it. We'll be able to edit our settings and save. All right, so scrolling down, we will walk through how to make edits and any changes to this smart plan. So the trigger event here, it says trigger manually, which means that we had to manually add this contact into the smart plan. In the future, especially with leads that we get from Facebook or any additional new contacts that we add into Command, if we have specific tags that we add them to or specific events, Command will automatically add them to a smart plan. So let's say if you add a contact in there and you add them to the Atlanta United tag, you can set up an Atlanta United smart plan that immediately sends out an email that says, hey, here's the schedule for this year's Atlanta United team. And here this week, I'm going to host a tailgate, all sorts of information like that. So anyway, so in the future, you will be able to just manually or have it automatically set people up into SmartPlans. But for now, it is manual. So we can see here, our first step is going to be an SMS, day one. And you can see here, for me, it says, please set up your Twilio account to automate. But for me, it is, this is going to be something I'd have to manually do, send out that text message. And then down here, we have message type, so static or dynamic. So this is if, as I mentioned earlier, there's some of the smart plans have different, multiple text messages for as the campaign repeats itself. This is how you would set that up. But for now, this is static. And you can see the text message here says, hey, contact first name. And this is a merge field, which allows you to personalize your text messages or make it appear personalized. So you can put, hey, first name, thank you for coming by. What did you think of the open house? Well, for me, what I'd want to do is I'd probably want to update this. Thanks for coming by my open house at 1903 Cannon Street in Decatur. What did you think of the house? Delete. And then you just want to sign it, add your name, and then Keller Williams, First Atlanta. This way the contact knows exactly who this is. You just introduce yourself probably within an hour or so. If you want to add any additional merge fields, you have the opportunity to here, and you have a whole list of them. So you can add their first and last name, their email address, their phone number, birthday, home anniversary, your first name, your first and last name, team name, and a link to your app. Now, you don't need to always use them. Yeah, it makes sense that you could easily put your agent first and last name, but you can also just as easily type that in here as well to make sure that there aren't any issues there. And then you can see here, once you update the text, there is a character count at the bottom. So it'll say 171 of 480. That's how I would personalize it. And I would think that anytime that you have a different open house, you'd want to update that address. So we're good there. And then in between any activity, there is an automatic delay. So Command and KW wants to make sure that we are not bombarding contacts with email, text, phone call day after day after day, or multiple things in a single day. So you have to there has to be a delay in between each activity. So we have our 1 day delay here. And then here we have send an email. So the task name here is going to send email to contact first name, last name. And this is what's going to show up in the task applet on the home screen to say, hey, send an email to first name, last name. And it's really easy for us to remember exactly what needs to be done. And you can see here, send a nice to meet you email. And then here's first name, last name, and email address as a part of the open house. So you could set up this to send an email automatically. Right now it's set up as a task, but you could come up here and you could add send email. So you just click on that at the bottom. Get kind of tricky. And I'd want to move this up. I think this is it working? So this is one thing about SmartPlans is you do have to, it's very manual. So adding it, so I'm just clicking this up button here because I want to move this. All right, well, it's not working at the moment. So I got a question. This is a great contact. It says, can we add Mr. or Mrs. to the contact name inside the body of the email or text being sent? It's pretty hard. I would say probably not, because as I scroll up here, let me just to the text message, and it's going to be the same thing. So you have the same merge fields as you do for the text and for email, and it would be really hard. There'd be no way for you to add a merge field for Mr. or Mrs. because it's not an option. So I would say probably no, you can't add Mrs. or Mr. unless you want to manually go in and copy paste that text message or that email. At which point, yes, you could, but you wouldn't be able to do it from an automated standpoint. And then so I had another question. Can they make this part drag and drop? Yeah, hopefully. I know that's everything with command is they want to get the functionality out there and get people using it, and then they start to make improvements on it. Also, with this having already been a pre-populated, pre-created smart plan, it is created very well, so there isn't a need to make a whole lot of changes to it. So that's probably why it's not the simplest process to do. But I did want to show you how to do that. And then let's see, I have another question. All right, you are very welcome. So I showed you there how to update your text message. Tried to show you how to add an email. We're going to walk through how to create a smart plan by ourselves, which will be much more simple. So you can see here, send an email to first name, last name, and then the task description includes first name, last name, email address. That way all their information is right there. So you don't have to go into the contact card to send that email. Scroll down, delay, phone call, again, phone call, first name, last name. So text message here. So if we're going to use our Twilio, hi, first name, I have a few open houses that I think you'd be interested in. Would you like me to send a list? And I would, again, add your name here, Keller Williams, First Atlanta, so they know who it is. And let's say you get a text back, a response back. You would get a Kelly notification from the Kelly app on your phone. And then when you log into command, you'd have a red dot at the bell up here. And in the contact card, it should say text message from. So they would be able to tell you that you get a text. So that's how you can make those simple edits. It's the same thing throughout here. Make a phone call, and you can add, any additional merge fields that you want to hear, or change any of the text. Again, text message, how are you doing? Like you may want to add a comma there, like how are you doing, comma, first name. Just wanted to check in to see with you if you're available tomorrow. I had a showing appointment canceled, so I have an opening in my schedule. And again, adding your name. And I know it seems like I'm really harping on adding your name, but because this isn't your actual phone number, and it is an automated number, it will be the same number every single time, but just to make sure that people know exactly who is sending this text message. So you get the idea here on how to go through and make edits. So I would recommend, keeping the edits pretty simple, as I tried to show. It's, not the easiest process to add in additional steps, but going through and personalizing that text, making sure that that text in, any of the content within the text messages or emails is in your voice. So that way when you speak to your clients or future clients and contacts, they know, okay, this makes sense for this person based on the conversation we had. And then when you're done, you can click save. Oh, well, I added that email, sorry, it's not gonna let me save. So let me come down here. Delete, all right. So let's see. I deleted that step. I tried to add the email. So let's see if it lets me save now. Perfect. So now I've saved it. If I wanted to, I could start adding the contacts that I want to add to this 1903 Cannon Street one. A great way to do this as well is to create a tag specifically for 1903 Cannon Street. So if I've met someone at that open house, I can just easily search for that tag. I don't have a tag for this open house, but as you're adding contacts into your database, a great thing to keep in mind. So I'll click up here and the arrow to exit out of the library, and you can see here it should refresh, and you see my open house 1903 Cannon Street. And in the future, so you've made all your changes here, so this is all the wording, all the text is exactly what you want. And then let's say you have another open house, so you want to copy this, so you can hit copy, and then we want to rename it my open house, and then we can name it whatever the address is for your next open house, and just click apply. And then you click right here, edit, and then you'd want to come in and just quickly update the information used in Smyrna. So you'd want to go through there, and that's how you'd quickly copy and make those changes to your smart plan. So, and then here we come back, and here we have the 3354 Dunn Street smart plan that I just quickly copied and made those edits. So let's say you are planning on having that open house this coming Sunday. You can go ahead, as you are preparing the days in advance, go ahead and get your smart plan set up for your open house. So then as you are at the open house, you have your computer and people walk in, they fill out their contact information and feedback cards. You can go ahead and just add them in command right there. And then so that as they walk out, 15 minutes later, they get the text message from you saying, hey, what did you think? And you set them up on that smart plan, and then boom, you start to build that relationship. So some great ideas there for how to best use these smart plans. Now I want to show you how to create your own smart plan. And I love the idea of building your own smart plan because as I've talked with agents, especially in our office, but on the Command Your Conversion Facebook group, there are so many great ideas on how to build a smart plan. And especially with everything going on with COVID-19, how can we stay in contact with our clients? How can we provide value to them and be a resource? And putting them on a smart plan is a great way of keeping in contact with them and being a resource. So to add a smart plan or to create one, click create right here. And we'll give our smart plan a name. So for today, I'm going to create a COVID-19 care plan. And we'll click apply. So as it's creating, I get this pop-up saying the Twilio account is not connected. And that's so that way I know that as I'm adding the text message feature, it will not be able to automatically send those text messages. As I mentioned earlier, here's the name of our plan, and here is the total duration, steps, and touches. As we add the action steps here, it will change. But before we do that, I want to walk through the tips and rules for building a smart plan, because this will really set some of and explain why things are set up the way they are. So to create a task allows 2 tasks per smart plan, per day per smart plan, and delays must be added between those steps. So a task is going to be something like a reminder to send an email or a reminder to call or to add them to a neighborhood nurture or to add in their address, something like that. Send an SMS or text message requires at least 1 day delay between scheduled text messages. And again, this is that same idea of we don't want to inundate our contacts with text after text after text. We want to have that touch with them and that reminder of who we are and make sure that we're coming from a place of value and contribution. The next, send email, again, requires at least 1 day between scheduled email messages. Set delay. So as we walk through the open house one we saw, there would be a text message, and then there'd be a 2 day delay. Then there'd be an email, and then there'd be a 2 day delay. And that is because we have to have, the SmartPlans requires at least one action between delays, and delays cannot be back to back. And a delay cannot be more than 1 day in duration. So this is that idea of preventing us from sending text after text after text after email. We want to make sure that we are spreading out our contacts over a couple of days or weeks. So we set the delays in between each activity. We have add to smart plan. So this is allowed once per smart plan. And this is that idea that if we've gone through the entire smart plan that we've created, that we can add them to another smart plan. So once we finished with this personal one that we're about to create, this care plan, we can add them to the quarterly call plan, or we can add them to the long-term nurture. So that way we can keep in contact with them without having to going and reminding ourselves to add them to another smart plan once this one is complete. This delays must be added between the steps and cannot add more than one version of a canned smart plan. So cannot add an 8x8 twice. Due in. So if you're going to set an activity or an action or task for yourself, adding in their address to their contact card, it can't be due in more than 2 weeks. It needs to be done within a day or two of that action to keep things moving along. Otherwise, you're going to stretch out the smart plan for far too long. Restart flow, available for smart plans of at least 14 days in length. So if you're going to create a smart plan that you can just repeat over and over again, maybe set up multiple text messages. So every time they go through the smart plan, they get a different message. It needs to be at least 2 weeks long. So they're just not repeat after repeat after repeat. And then the restart must be added as the last action in the flow. And then here's some great guidelines. Per smart plan, touches cannot exceed 7 within 7 days. So you cannot touch someone more than once per day. You cannot touch someone, you can only touch someone 12 times within 30 days, and 15 total touches in a single smart plan. So if you have a smart plan that's going to last 90 days, you can still only add 19 or 15 touches in that whole time. So you can see here, this is some of the guidelines for as we build out our smart plan to make sure that it all falls within this regulations, to make sure that we are adding value and contribution to our clients. So let's start with an email. So I'm going to click on send an email, and the email pops up. We have email type simple, which is going to be our text-based email, and HTML. I'm going to recommend that you do simple. We do have some HTML templates here, but they're already prefabricated. And if you want to send out HTML emails, I'd recommend that you use MailChimp, which is a whole different conversation. And I'm happy to talk to you about that, but I'll just quickly show you the HTML templates that we have. So if you want to click on HTML, it'll say email template, browse library for email template. And I'll show you some of the templates that we have here. So work with me seller, and just click on preview. So this is going to be the template. When you're ready to sell, I'm here to help. And then some text, but this is already prefabricated. And since we're building our own personal smart plan, we don't want some canned response like this. Now, this may be of use if you want to create a smart plan that's all about getting listings. This could be a great option for you, but not for our care plan. And then here is the home anniversary one. So this way, if you want to create your own home anniversary smart plan that's different than the one that's already created, you can use this one, and it has this great text and image here. And then the birthday one here. Happiest of birthdays to you. And then some text here. And all of these, agent first name, the items with the stars, that will automatically populate correctly based on the information in command. So those are the HTML templates. If you wanted to do that, if you wanted to use those, but I would recommend simple text. So here we have our reply email, which is we set up earlier in the command email configuration, email subject, checking in our subject, how are you doing? And then here, we start to build out our email, hi, and then I would recommend you put contact first name. Ah. All right, well, sorry, I was trying to add a comma there and I messed it up. So I'll say hi, contact first name, comma. I wanted to check in and see how you're doing. How is your family? I hope you're staying safe during these uncertain times. Please let me know if there is anything due to help. Thank you, Nick. And then one thing to keep in mind here is that your email signature will not automatically populate, so you'll need to add that. But what you can do is you do have these merge fields, so you can start to add some information. But I guess here they're pretty limited, so you'll want to add your email signature and then your phone number. So that is going to be step one. So just a quick email. And then as we walk through the requirements, we'll have to do a delay between that. So we'll do a set delay. So just click on it. You can see here, step number 2, set delay. Right now, we had set to 1 day, but let's set it to 3 days. So we'll send this on a Monday, and this will last us 3 days. And then let's follow up with a text message. So I haven't set up my Twilio account here, but this would be, text message. Hey, contact first name, checking in to make sure you're doing doing well. And since this is a care plan, we don't really need to mention real estate right off the bat. But, just checking in to make sure you're doing well. I hope you're surviving, enjoying, I don't know, you can put, whatever you want. I'm not the best copywriter. Hope you're staying safe and sane. Let me know how I can help. And because this is a text message, we'll want to include our name here. And I always recommend just adding Keller Williams First Atlanta. You can never add Keller Williams First Atlanta too many times to anything because you always want to make sure that you are compliant. Now, there isn't any conversation about real estate here, so you don't technically need it, but it is always nice to have that so your clients know who you are and where you're from. All right, so our next step is going to be add a delay. So we'll add another delay, and we'll do another 3-day, or we'll do 4-day delay here. And then let's make a call. So assuming we sent them an email, then we sent a text message, we haven't heard from them, let's make a call. So our task name is going to be call. And then this is where things get kind of interesting. When you were creating a task, a phone call, and you want to add these merge fields to your task name, you have to do them backwards. It's very weird, and I don't understand why. But knowing, let's say we want to name this call, contact first name, last name, phone number, what we're going to want to do is do call, we'll do contact phone number, contact last name, contact first name. It puts it in the back reverse order, so now it says contact first name, last name, phone number. Call, and then we'll come back down here And then we can just add everything in the correct order. Contact first name, last name, phone number. Let me add phone number to make sure they have everything they need. There you go. That's it. So you can add more information here. So if you have a script that you want to add or specific questions you want to add, you can, put that here. Do you need help grocery shopping? Can I send a delivery? I don't know, anything you wanted here. This, to make a call, is going to only show up in command. Nothing's going to go to your actual client. So you can put whatever it is you want to include here. So we've added step 5. And you can see up here at the top, our plan is 8 days. We have 5 steps and 3 touches. So we need to set another delay. Let's go all the way back to the bottom. And let's do another 3-day delay. And we'll send another email. So I clicked on email right here, and I'll come back to the bottom. And now we've kind of, it's been like a week and a half. Now we can kind of start to talk about some real estate stuff. Real estate information. So that's going to be your subject line. And then, come in here and you type your email. So hi, contact first name. You write whatever you want. I hope you're doing well. Despite despite COVID-19, the real estate market is still really hot. I'm here to be a resource for all things real estate. Keller Williams just came out with a brand new app that surpasses the other real estate search apps. You should check it out sometime. And then you can come right here. Well, I guess here it does not have that. In the text message, you can add a merge field for a text. Here is a link, and then you could, copy your KW app link.com, whatever that crazy code is there. Thank you, Nick. And then add your signature here and your phone number. So that was step 7. And then let's add we'll set a delay, and then let's add a text message after that. And we'll kind of wrap this up here in just a moment. So here's our email that we just wrote. We'll set a delay, text message. Hey, and then we'll add in contact first name. Did you get a chance to play around with my KW app? Is amazing how much information it provides. If you haven't yet, here is the link to download. And then from the merge fields right here, KW app link right there. Let me know what questions you have. And then because it's a text, we want to make sure that we include our name and Keller Williams First Atlanta. All right. So we've added that text message, and then let's set another delay And at this point, you know, it's been 2 weeks. Well, it's been a while, 42 days it says. So we'll set a delay, and then let's go ahead and just add them to a smart plan. So we'll come back down. We will set a delay. Oh, this delay here is for 30 days. We don't want that. That's why it had 40 days. So we'll set a delay of 5 days. So we'll give them 5 days to play with the app. If we don't hear anything, sorry. We'll send this one over here. That was step 8, my apologies. Then here is our app text. Let's see, did this get out of order? Okay, perfect. So then we have, so here's our text that we've just sent saying, here's the link to our app. Let me know what questions you have. We're gonna set a 3-day delay, and then we'll just go ahead and then add them to the smart plan. And I don't have any options. It should pop up with the list of biweekly neighborhood nurture. So you'd be able to add them directly to that smart plan there. And then you'd be able to hit save. But I'm just gonna hit delete. I'm just gonna remove that step because it's not gonna let me save it because I haven't added that. So we'll just come up here to the top, and we can see we have this lasts for 19 days. There are 10 steps and 5 touches. So that falls within all of those guidelines that we walk through over here on the tips and rules for building the smart plan. So I'll click save. Perfect. And then if I wanted to, I could add contacts to this smart plan right here. So you can search their name. So I can just add myself, boom, and add to smart plan. Or you could search the tags there as well. So that's saved, I'll click exit. Let me do a refresh. And then here we have our COVID-19 care plan. And again, we have all the actions over here of adding contact. We can copy this, we can edit it, and we can delete it. So that is SmartPlans. So we walk through all of the different smart plans that we have available to us that have been built from KW Labs in the library. We've talked through adding smart plans to the Kelly Guide, updating the smart plans using the open house smart plan, as well as creating our own smart plan very quickly. What questions do we have about smart plans before we move on to our next section? Because we are going to go into reports next. Well, referrals and reports.
Hi, Nicholas.
Yeah.
I missed the step. I was going along with the COVID care plan. I did save. I was kind of creating it while you were creating it. And I hit save. And after save, how did you get it in this list?
So just hit the refresh button real fast on your browser, and it should automatically pop up. If it's saved, it will automatically pop up in your list of people plans.
Oh, amen. It was a second page. Got it. Okay.
Did it show up?
It did.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Yeah, so sometimes there's a little bit of a lag in command, and if you ever go onto a page and you don't see something that's loaded that you just saved or created, just hit the refresh button and it usually will pop up within, usually the first time you hit refresh, but maybe the second time. So this is SmartPlans. I recommend going through here, spending a little bit more time with it, and playing around with SmartPlans and creating ones that work well for you. And check out that Command Your Conversion Facebook group. They have some great tips in how to build smart plans, and as well as really anything with command and how to use it for lead generating purposes. So the next thing I want to quickly talk to you about is referrals. And so this is going to be our next applet here on the left. And this is going to be a great resource for you on building your referral network. So if you have family friends that are moving from Atlanta to another part of the country, or you have a family member in another part of the country that needs an agent, this is how you can start to build that network of those top agents that you can then refer to your family and friends throughout the country and make a referral fee. So here is going to be the dashboard. You can see I have 3 pending invites, pending referrals. I haven't received any referrals, and I haven't sent any referrals. So scrolling down, you can see I have 55 people in my referral network, and here are all the contacts that I have. And you can meet people here, you know, and add them to your referral network if you met them at Mega Camp or at family reunion, or even if it's one of those things where you have a family member that's moving to Lexington, Kentucky, and you don't know anyone in Lexington, you can call the office in Lexington and say, hey, I have a family member that's moving here. Can you please provide the name of a top agent or a buyer's agent or a brand new, you can, you know, give them some specifications and then reach out to them and add them to your list here. Then when you are ready to send a referral, so let's say I'll send it to Brandon, who used to be my old team lead. Just click on send a referral. And then you can fill in all this information. So I'm going to send a buyer referral, and I want the referral fee. I'm only going to charge 20% referral fee. Acceptance deadline, you can change this, you know, so if you want to give him, you know, 48 hours to review the referral and accept it, and just, you know, fill in 200 to 350. Aunt is moving to Smyrna, looking for a top agent to buy a ranch home in an established neighborhood. So, and then you just, you know, continue to fill out the information. So database, so select client. So I'd want to search, and I'll just add myself for now, and it will automatically fill in their contacts information. And then you can put if they're pre-approved or pre-qualified, client's desired location. Let's do, I know I just put Smyrna, but I'm just going to put Mableton just for the sake of this. So Mableton, Georgia, and then transaction timeline. They want to be in this house by July 4th. Boom. So that is how you would send a referral. And what's great is that by using the referral network, all of Brandon's information is already in here. And the MCA office will have all the information. So as I'm putting together my opportunity and the commissions and everything, it'll automatically pre-populate. So you don't have to worry with fumbling around all of that paperwork that we've had to do in the past. So I saw I had a question, so I want to answer this. Do these referrals automatically come over from MyKW? They should have automatically come over from MyKW. You can check them in My Kelly app as well. There should be all the same contacts on all platforms. All right, so I'm going to click cancel here because I don't want to actually send this. So up at the top, my referrals. So you can see here is going to be a list of all of my sent referrals and all of my received referrals. I haven't sent or received any yet, as well as any active, funded, lost, expired, rejected, and all. So that way you can filter through. You may have some agents build huge referral businesses. Some agents don't even sell real estate themselves. They just refer everything out. And this is going to be a great way to keep track of that for them, and, you know, kind of help see how sending out referrals and receiving referrals can build ultimately their GCI. And here we click on map. And this is going to show you a map of your referrals. Right now I have it selected on production. I haven't sent or received any referrals. So, excuse me, I don't have any map to show. But one thing I would just talk to with another agent just the other day was if you come over here on this drop down, you can look at the market center. So you can start to see kind of, if you're trying to find an agent, oh, like I'd mentioned earlier, we want an agent in Lexington, Kentucky. Now it's not, it's frozen on me. but this will help you find agents in those market centers that you're interested in. So here we have Lexington, and here are going to be all of the agents that pop up in Lexington, Kentucky. Well, should be. There we go. Boom. So now here are 177 agents. They're out of the Lexington Market Center. Boom. And that's how I can find a referral agent. Then continue with the drop-down network, drop-down arrow. We can click on my network. So then we can start to see of my network, where are the referral agents that I have in my referral network. So I can see here, I have one in Tennessee, Kansas City, up here in Michigan. But then another feature that I think is really cool is if you come back to this drop-down menu, Referral Patterns. And this is going to show you where on a map agents in Atlanta are referring business to. So you can see here, we were referring business to a lot of other Atlanta agents, but to Savannah, Tampa, Boca Raton. So there's a lot of business to be had elsewhere in the country. And this can give you an idea of where should you start to build your referral network. Are there agents in other parts of the country that you need to start connecting with and maybe make more of an effort to talk to when you go to family reunion or mega camp, or connecting when you go visit your family elsewhere in the country, maybe stopping by that KW office and say, hey, who are the top agents here? I want to build my referral network. So this is just a great way to get some more information to kind of see where people are moving from. And then this last tab here is going to be my network. And this is going to be that same list of all of your referral networks in here, of all your partners that you've added to your referral network. And then you can select to see, 500. I don't have 500, but this way it'll show all of the agents that you have in your referral network. Any questions about the referrals tab? All right. So our next conversation is going to be about reports. And then we'll quickly go through reports before we jump into how to get paid, which I know everyone wants to know how to get paid. All right. Sorry, my computer is about to die, so I'll have to plug it in. So reports here. So here's our dashboard, and this is going to be showing the health of our database. And this is important to know. So as we were adding contacts to our database, what information are we missing from those contacts? What information do we need to get? So if we want to add someone to that monthly neighborhood nurture, we need to make sure that we have their neighborhood in there. And it also is a great reminder of if you need to touch base with someone, you can scroll down here. You can see my overall database health is 50%. And then it breaks this down by phone number, email, address, neighborhoods, home anniversary, and birthdays. So for me, I can see I need to spend a little bit more time adding neighborhoods and double checking the addresses and add the neighborhoods, but also phone numbers. So what I may want to do is maybe send an email or a Facebook message and say, hey, I'm going through my database and I want to make sure I have your most updated information. How can I, what's the best phone number that I can reach you at? And 9 times out of 10, you'll get, that person will share their phone number with you, and then you can add that to your database. Scrolling down, this is going to be the database activity score. So you can see that 96.5% of my clients have not been reached out to in the last 91 days. So it lets me know I need to start boosting my activity. I need to start adding clients to the quarterly call plan, adding them to SmartPlans, start setting up tasks to keep in touch with them more regularly. All right. And you can also come over here and you can filter by SMS. So like how many text messages did I send out, emails, calendars. So you can change it by the different touch points. And then if you want to compare, you can compare to how my database looks to other agents in First Atlanta's office, other agents in the state, all agents. And so here's that all agents line, so you can see how it compares. Let's go back to Market Center. So how it looks in First Atlanta. So you can see I've only reached out to 2%, but the average agent in First Atlanta has reached out to 7.2%. So I am a third, less than a third, as my database being touched as the agents in our office. So it's just good to help kind of benchmark yourself to see, all right, we have some great agents in our office that do big businesses, and if they're reaching at least 7.2% on average per month, and I'm only at 2%, then I really need to step up and start working my database. All right, so this is going to be our database overview dashboard. Let's go. The next tab is going to be reports, and this is going to show a handful of different reports. So right here, it's showing the opportunities report. So based on the opportunities that you've created for yourself in the opportunities sales pipeline, going through just real quickly how many you have, total opportunities, new opportunities, and then expelling out what your potential income and commissions would be. So you can see here, based on the different phases, projected volume, and then the average time I have in each phase. I'm sorry, oh, this is for listings. My apologies for not clarifying. And then down here, we have our buyer opportunities. So the same information here based on the different phases, volume, and average time. So this is just a great way for you to kind of see as you check in on your 2020 goals, say, all right, we are halfway through, or almost halfway through second quarter. How am I looking on my projections? Do I need to reproject? What my goal is, COVID-19 may have affected things. What do I need to course correct to make sure that I am achieving my 2020 business goals, as well as when you go to plan your 2021 business goals, what did you do this past year? What worked really well for you? What are the gap areas you need to focus on? This is going to be a great way for you to see that, you know, you really struggled to get people out of the appointment phase into active or something like that. So next to where it says show, right now we're looking at the opportunities report. We can look at a database report, which is basically going to be very similar to the information that we looked at in the dashboard tab, but really just kind of walk through the total number of your contacts, your health score, new contacts, total contacts, new leads, and total leads. So if you are setting up a Facebook lead generating campaign, or you mark individuals as leads when they come in either from an open house or another lead source, that'll mark them as a lead. And then you can break down the total activities, lead sources. So if you're able to add in, you know, open house lead source versus Facebook versus, I don't know, a Zillow lead, however you buy your leads, all that information there. And then the database fields here. And this is going to be year to date. And we can also come up here and look at our goals report. So this information is going to be based on the goals that we input, which we're going to talk through in just a moment. But this is going to show you based on if you want to have a net profit of $120,000. And this is just some numbers that I added in here. Total cost of sales, operating expenses, and I'm going to need a GCI of $300,000. So this is going to break down the total number, amount of appointments that I'm going to need, the total number of units that I'm going to need to close, total number of agreements, and then see how am I doing compared to my goal. So right now, of getting a GCI of 300,000, I'm only at 15% of my goal. And this is, again, a great way to keep you in charge of your business and keep you every single day. How are you doing? What are the tasks that you've done yesterday that are going to help you build to your goal? And then you can export this here into Excel. And then similarly, we can change this. Oh, sorry. Yeah, so like I said, we can click between the goal, database, and opportunities report. So let's click on the next tab of goals. And this is where you're going to input your 2020 goals. And this is going to be that top line view of all that information. So profit tracker. So knowing that after I pay my Keller Williams fees, the cost just to do business, how am I actually looking at earning a profit? Our activities breakdown. So the neighborhood, search neighborhoods, emails, other, what have I done this year, conversion, and our GCI breakdown. So if I have a 300,000 GCI, what does that go to cost of sales, cost, operating expenses? But in order to get all this information, we need to set our goals. So to do that, let's click on goal settings here. And this is going to put us into a Kelly guide. And before we do that, let me quickly plug in my computer charger before it dies. My apologies. To move this just a little bit to get this plugged in. All right. So to get started here, we'll just quickly click on Get Started. And this, similar to the other Kelly guide, this is going to walk us through step by step of everything we need to do. So we'll start here. What year are we setting goals for? This year, 2020. And what is our annual profit goal? So this is where we say, okay, how much money do we want to walk away with after we pay any admins, after we pay our Keller Williams fees, our taxes, everything else. So just for today, I put $120,000 and expenses. So this is going to include all of your expenses, how much it costs for you to market, any Facebook campaigns you run, any leads you purchase, any taxes. Well, that'll probably go under cost of sales. And this is great here because it does provide some examples. So salaries, lead generation, marketing expenses, education, occupation, automobile expenses, anything it costs you to do business here. $90,000 is what auto-populated. So if you come in here and you change this to 150,000, it does kind of, it should change this just a little bit. I have a question, so let me check this real fast. What do you do if your actual profit doesn't match what is showing in your goals report? So the goals report is based on, are you saying like when your actual closed commission isn't showing up, that command isn't reflecting your actual closed volume for this year? Let's connect about that after this call to make sure that everything is input into command correctly. So that way we can properly track your goals. So continuing through here, I'm just going to update this to do $150,000 expenses. You can adjust this. So let's just take this down to 50,000, and then cost of sales, we'll change that to 45. So you can make any changes that you want, and this should be based on what did you spend in 2019, and then cost of sales over here, expenses that are made only when a transaction takes place, so splits to agents, coordinators, market center brokerages, as well as referral fees and other transaction-dependent expenses. So let's let you know exactly what you need to include in cost of sales. So business makeup. So this is really interesting. So this is going to help you know how many appointments you need to set for buyers and sellers. So let's say you really prefer to do listings. So let's say you want to do 75% listings and only work with 25% buyers. All right. So this is going to help reformulate how many appointments you need to go on, who you need to talk to, and how you need to work your database. And then let's say your average commission per unit. So right now this auto-populated to 7,150, but let's say you net, let's just do $8,000 is your average commission. And if you do leases, if you want to add any information about leases, you can put that information in here as well. So you can see as we make our changes here, this automatically updates over here on the left. So we'll click next. And this is a sales funnel here. It's going to walk through everything. This is going to auto-populate conversion rates. So saying that what percentage of lead to contacts, leads turn into contacts, 5%, contacts to set appointments, 5%. So this is all automatically set. You can change this if you have this information for your business. So specifically how much information, how many of the appointments you go and actually turn into agreements and turn into contracts and turn into closings. So this is automatically is added there, but you can make any changes to that as well. And this is what's going to help calculate if you put in a lead, what the likelihood is that you'll actually get a closing out of that. So once you've made any changes here, I left this as is. Just click save and continue. All right, so now a quick review of our goal. So we have 245 annual GCI, so for a profit of 150 with $95,000 in expenses. And this is going to break down. We want 75% listings, and our average commission for both sides is $8,000. So click what next. All right, so we've updated that. So we can just click X here out of the Kelly guide. And we are back here in our goals. So we can see here, we've updated our annual profit, and this is going to show us everything that we have done to date. So what we need to do, I have set 0 appointments. So this is important that as you set your goals that you go into command and you set those goals and you add those opportunities. So that way this can keep track of it to let you know, okay, well, if I need to set 97 appointments, I need to see how many I have left to do and how many of those appointments are kept, turn into agreements, go under contract, and closed. So I need to close 31 transactions. So right now I'm at 12%. And then our profit tracker. So based on how much money we need to make each month versus how much I'm going to spend each month on expenses, you can see here, I am very low on my profit tracker. And scrolling down, here's that activity breakdown, our goal conversion rate. So based on all that information that we added, what's the percentage of leads that turn to contacts, appointments, kept, agreements, contract, closed, all that's right here. And then our year-to-date GCI breakdown. So this is a great tool for you to stay in your business, but also plan your business. And I think right now, especially hopefully fingers crossed as we are kind of stepping back into this post-COVID-19 world and things hopefully kind of start to get back to a new normal, that you start to reconfigure your goals for 2020 to make sure that you can pick up for any missed business over the last couple months and figure out exactly what it is that you need to do for the rest of the year to meet your goals. So I recommend you spend some time here. And then our last tab is going to be emails. So as I mentioned before, we get 5,000 emails through our command email plan here. Here's our limit, and this shows how many emails are sent out. And then, how many have replied, clicked, open, undelivered, unsubscribed, and mark as spam. So that way you can see how are your emails working. If you see that people that are getting the bi-weekly neighborhood nurture are more likely to unsubscribe than those sending out, they're receiving the monthly neighborhood nurture, you can let you know maybe you need to shift people to the monthly, and just to help keep track of that as well. So, and if you have a huge database and you're sending out close to 5,000 emails, you may want to upgrade your email plan here. So that is the reports tab, and this is just a great place for you to check in. I would say, probably at least once a week to see what it is that you need to do, as it may be on Fridays. If you were to check in on your business, come back over here to the goals tab, spend a couple minutes seeing how things compared versus the previous week. So you can go ahead and you can set your goals. Okay, this is Friday, come Monday morning, I know I need to do X, Y, Z things to set my business up to start setting those appointments to get to my GCI goal of 245 and my profit goal of 150. All right, so the next thing we want to talk about, and I know we're going through a lot of information, is getting paid. Probably one of the single most important parts of our job is to walk away after we've done all that work with our commission check. what we're going to do is we're going to do a quick down and dirty review of opportunities of everything that we need to do just to get those documents in, compliance, and get paid. So to do that, we will come up here to opportunities, to the hand shaking. Click on that. All right. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time on the phases and stages that we have here because that's part of TCO3. This is really just going to be, what do I need to do to get that commission check? So what we're going to do to get started is we're going to create an opportunity. So Market Center should default to Atlanta Sandy Springs. If you're on a team, you should be able to select your team from the drop-down menu here. Opportunity type, is it a listing, a buyer, a landlord, or a tenant? So for today, I'm just going to do listing. The owner, so I'm going to be the owner of this opportunity. Client name, you should have already added them in as a contact. So I will just add myself. And then is there a co-seller? You can add, any co-seller that they have. Opportunity name. It's really important that you label your name properly. So that way the MCA office can make sure that they assign all of the proper paperwork with all of your documents and everything is streamlined between the two. So what I recommend, so this is a listing, is that you label it with the property address, the buyer's last names, and then listing or buyer. And so obviously if you were to first be working with a buyer before they're under contract, you can just name it buyer's last name and then buyer. And then as they go under contract, you can update the opportunity name. You can add any custom tags here, and we'll scroll down here, estimated close date. So we know we want to close, let's say, by July 3rd. Estimated list price, let's just put in our list price there. Commission rate, 3. Now, one thing to keep in mind, in order for the MCA office to be able to see any of the documents that you add, you have to update the phase to active and the stage to negotiations. So if you do not update the phase and stage properly, the MCA office does not have access to your documents that you upload into Command. So once you filled out this information, to create an opportunity, hit create. And this will drop us right into the opportunity. So I have a question, so let's answer this. All right. So here we have our opportunity information. Anywhere that there is a pencil, you can update information. So I'm going to come over here to the property. I'm going to click on this pencil, and I'm just going to start searching the property address. Select that here, and then hit save. And it's important that you add in this information because the more information you can add into your opportunity, the more information that's going to be autofilled into DocuSign and more information for the MCA office to make sure that everything is correct. So we can come over here, double check this information. We can click edit here. And there's going to be very similar information to what we just walked through, but actually some additional dates. So if we get this contract, the contract date, we can say, okay, we went under contract on June 1st, and we are going to close on July 3rd, like we had planned. Perfect. Listing commission rate, 3%. Hit save. And then we can come over here to seller worksheet, and we'll want to update this information. So the buyer's agent commission, we want to add 3% there, because this is going to help as we're reviewing offers to help make sure that we are providing the best net for our clients. So if you know any of their mortgage balance or second mortgage taxes, you can include that here. And then if you want to include all this information in the net offer comparison, select that toggle there and then click save. All right, so now we've filled out all of the information for the details tab. The next is going to be our documents tab. This is going to be where all of our documents are added. In the past, I guess pre-September 2019, everything for compliance was reviewed in .loop, but that has now all shifted into command here. And this is where Lynn and Alita will go to review your documents, make sure that you have all the information that you need, as well as the MCA office will go through to make sure that everything is in there correctly. So any earnest money checks or any commission checks are cut properly. So to do this, you can start a transaction here, which will take you to DocuSign, and that will create a room for you, and you can start doing all of your paperwork there. But like I said, this is going to be down and dirty. I do a DocuSign class every Friday morning at 10 a.m. So if you want to spend an hour and a half going through step by step how to use DocuSign, please join me for that. But for today, I'm just going to show you how to add your documents here. So for the listing, we know that anytime that you get a listing, you need to immediately send that listing agreement for review to Lynn and Alita right before you go live on that for your listing. So to add a file for your listing agreement, we'll click add a file here. We can manually drag and drop it. And how do we connect to DocuSign? That would be an option here. But for here, let's just I'll click on Browse Files. Let me come over here. So sellers, so listing agreement, I'll just click add here and then click assign. And then we'll come down here, seller's property disclosure. I'll browse. Let me come back. Disclosures. Seller's property disclosure. So it's going to upload and then click assign. And if you want to add multiple files at one time, you can click attach multiple files. And then you can drag and drop all these at the same time. So I can come over here and do lead-based paint. And let's say Wall Street wire fraud. So I don't have that in this folder, but for today, I'll just add that. So you can just add multiple documents and click attach, and those will add. So this is going to be your listed for a listing. And then once you have added all of your documents, you will click submit to MC. And this is going to send it to Alita and Lynn for review and compliance. And then any updates that they have, there will be a note right here, because right now you can see the status says uploaded. It will change to green and reviewed or approved if it is good to go. If it's not, it'll say unaccepted, and there'll be a note right here for you to click over, and it'll say add section 2B or signature needed on page 3, whatever you need to do there. Then once you go under contract, you will start adding your purchase and sale agreement here. Your account offers, all of your information. Will do the same process here as well. Then once you've closed, you can attach your signed Alta settlement statement right here. And if you want to do a pay at close, you'll need to fill in the FMLS 118 form and attach that here for the MCA office to review, because if anything were to happen, they want to be able to send that to FMLS so that can get closed out as soon as possible. Another thing we have over here is custom folders, and I recommend that you take advantage of custom folders. Command and opportunities is going to be our new document database. So rather in the path of having everything stay in .loop, or even now everything staying in DocuSign, you can use command to house everything. So let's say you close a transaction and then a year from now, you want to go back and look at everything. It can all be right here. So let's say you've lost your computer. You didn't actually lose all your files because they are still in command. So a custom folder. So if you want to add a custom folder, you can click add new custom folder. And then you may want to create one for your inspection report and create a folder. So then you can come right here and then you would have, this is our inspection report folder, add documents, select type, inspection. Now there's a list of the drop down here of the different documents that we have access, or document types, and these are common ones. It doesn't matter. Select the one that's the most appropriate, but if you select a different document than what it actually is, nothing's going to happen. Enter note here, inspection report. Let's do 5/1/2020. And then I'm just going to, just for today, I'm just going to add this document here. And you click add. And then boom, we have our inspection report. And we may also want to come through here and add the appraisal. Create folder. And then we have a folder here for the appraisal that we can add. So once you have submitted your listing to the Market Center for review, and you've gone under contract and you've submitted that to review, you want to go to, let me come over here. I want to open a new tab real fast, because what we're going to do, similar to in the past, once you've submitted all that, you have to come through and go to mykw.kw, and we have to submit a green sheet. Over here, so in command, you can see we have offers and commissions. Those are not totally working yet. Our MCA office is not configured those tabs yet to provide the information that they need to have all of the costs for FMLS, any referral fees, any other fees. So we're still working to get this set up. So in the meantime, we're still working on our on the old green sheets. So to do that, like I said, go to mykw.kw.com, and then under technology, scroll down to green sheets, and you will want to click here to create a new green sheet, and you'll just go through the information as normal. If you are the listing agent, for now, just select no, I'm not. And then you can start to create the green sheet here, and you would submit to MCA the way you would previously using .loop. And that is how you would get paid. Any questions on how to get paid in Command? Perfect. All right. So we just walked through a lot of information this morning. We walked through SmartPlans, all the ones that we have available to us in the library. We've edited the open house SmartPlan. We even walked through how to create a SmartPlan ourselves. And then we walked through reports and how those can be used for your business to help you keep track of your database health, as well as your goals and your business plans for 2020. And then we just did a really quick down and dirty review of opportunities on how to get paid, because I want to make sure you all get paid for all the hard work that you do for your clients. Any questions that you have now, anything you want to see again before we drop off? We have 15 minutes left in your time, so you can ask me as many questions as you want. I want to be respectful of your time, so let me know how I can best help over the next couple minutes. If there are no questions, I'm happy to let you guys go. Okay, so I see a question. How do I modify my marketing profile? Okay. So to do that, you'll come to, let me close out of here. So you'll just click on up here in the top right-hand corner of Command where it has your name and there's an arrow drop down. You'll click on this, go to Settings. Come over here to the left and click on Connect Settings, and then Marketing Profile. And then here, you can start to add, update, change any information that you have on your free marketing profile. There is a Kelly guide that you can walk through, but all that information is right here as well, that you can manually update your bio, phone numbers, logos, and your social links as well. And then here is your app. One thing I want to call out again for your marketing profile, make sure that this toggle right here to use my information to brand my agent site is turned on, because this is what's going to allow all this information from your marketing profile to show up on your agent website as well as your KW app. All right. How do I find the KWFA logo? So I would recommend that you go to rawlsgrouphelpdesk.com. Here, I will send this in the chat, rawlsgrouphelpdesk.com. And Scott Hardy has uploaded all of the logos there. So there's a drop down in the top right-hand corner there. You can select downloads, go to, I think, logos, and then select First Atlanta. And there's going to be an entire, I think, the black and white version, as well as the full color logo in different formats as well. So that is going to be the best place to get those. So it has me on a team and not as an individual agent. Can I modify this on my KW website? Well, I would want to make sure, check with the MCA office to see why the command has you set as a team, so they can remove that for you. And then yes, on your agent website, you should be able to remove any information as to you being on a team. So that way you are a solo agent. Perfect. Any other questions this morning? Anything to do with what we talked about this morning, or anything else with command? I'm happy to help. All right. Well, I will let you all go. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. As you are playing around in command, let me know what questions you have. I'm here to help in any way that I can. Feel free to email me, call me, text me, and we can always set up some one-on-one time if you need a little bit more assistance. I want to make sure that you are using command to its fullest potential to really drive your business in 2020. So let me know how I can help. Have a great rest of your day, and I will talk to you all soon. Thank you.